Hola amigos, bien o no, y saludos desde Inglaterra. Muy buen el clima hoy, ¿no? Y mire, casi 4 en la tarde, no hay mucho más luz por el día. Pero bien, el tema de hoy es cuando estamos en una conversación, recuerdo que es muy importante para ser seguro que tú entiendes bien el tema. Ese es el tema de hoy. So, hello again from England. Here we are, another splendid autumnal day. Starting to lose the light though. It's not even 4 o'clock and it's going to get quite dark fairly soon, so we'll fit this in before we lose the sunlight. So the theme of the day is really, as we would say, check you're on the same page. Make sure you've understood in the conversation that you really are in the conversation, that you're talking about what you think you're talking about. Make sure you've understood what the other person has said and what you think they've said. Make sure you've really understood them. Now this is a way of us getting an improved sort of connection with the people we're talking to, quite apart from us making mistakes perhaps in some of our vocabulary. So remember, listen more and then ask questions just to check you've understood them. So let the other person do more of the speaking. That's going to help you because you're not the native speaker. Let them do the work. Say nice encouraging things to them like, I see, or I understand. But then later on, just ask them a question. If you're not sure what they've been talking about, and it can be easy to be confused, just ask them. Can I just check? Can I ask you? Let me see if I've understood this. Any of those phrases, and then summarize. Summarize roughly what you think they're talking about. Now this is more important perhaps in like a business context, certainly, because you really need to make sure you've understood what we're talking about. But in general, the rule holds true. Make sure you're on the same page, because then it's easier for you to take that conversation, in the right direction. You're not going off on a tangent, start talking about stuff, and everyone's thinking, why are we talking about that? So don't be afraid to interrupt the conversation occasionally, just to check that both of you know what you're talking about, because you could be talking about completely different things, and it's quite easy to get lost, particularly if we're listening to more than one person speaking. So don't be shy about that. Yes, it's good to listen carefully and try and work out where we are, but if you think, no, that's not making sense, politely interrupt them. Say, sorry, can I just check that I've understood that? It's fine. They'll bring you back on speed really quickly. Very easy just to paraphrase what they're talking about, give them a summary, show that you've understood, or at least you've tried to understand what they're talking about. This will improve your connection with the people you're talking to, and then you can carry on, let them continue their conversation, so you've got a bit more chance to listen to it. So it's important to interrupt early if you're starting to lose the thread of the conversation. And then hopefully you can indeed stay on the same page with each other, in the sense that you're more or less in agreement and you know where you're going. It should be easier from there. So that's the tip for the day. Don't be frightened. Interrupt if you think the conversation's going in a direction you're not understanding. Check you are talking about the same thing, and see how you go from there. So I hope that was helpful. Déjame saber en los comentarios, como siempre. But for now, we'll say cheerio.